Next one up is John Murray, and from the looks of his bio, and I understand why, he was the fighter. If the guys you looked up the most to were Noel Picard, Barclay Plager, and Bob Plager, good luck to you. But he was influenced by them, and like most kids growing up at that time, he caught the hockey bug. When the Blues came to town after he attended the Blues hockey school, which it seems like all of these men did at one time or another, he joined the Steinberg Hockey Club for the 71-72 season. Following season, Bill Murray Sr. Initiated the building of the Afton Ice Rink. And John played Bantams, Midgets, and Junior B for Bill Murray Sr. He was a member of the original Afton American Junior B team when he was selected as the league's top defenseman. During the last game of the Junior B playoff in 1976, he suffered an injury when a puck struck, sound like Noel now. A puck struck him in the eye at full force and left him blind in that eye. But Bill Selman took a liking to him and offered him a scholarship at St. Louis University. He also wanted to play baseball there, and all that worked out. But thanks to Bill Selman, he played from 1976 through 1979 for the Billikens. He was also the most improved player on that team in 1978. He joined the ranks of the coaches after that, spent considerable time teaching kids the game he loved so much. He helped guide DeSmet to back-to-back mid-state championships during the 1988 and 89 seasons, and 89 and 90, and served 5 years as a head coach of Lindbergh, then went back to DeSmet just for the heck of it. He won one more time, one more championship. Ladies and gentlemen, John Murray.
Thank you. Could I get security out here for table number 10? Because those guys are going to cause some problems, trust me. And those are supposed to be my friends. I can only imagine my enemies in the room that I had many when I played the game of hockey. I'd like to thank Scott Rupp, John Farrar, and the Hall of Fame committee. Needless to say, this is just a tremendous event, and I'm happy that I was invited to it. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. There are many people in this room that I need to thank, and many that aren't in the room that I would like to thank. I'm absolutely humbled and honored to have been bestowed this terrific honor and award. I'd like to say to my wife, Joan, my daughters, Lauren and Lindsay, and my grandson, Austin, who's waving to me right now. Lauren and Lindsay, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for sharing your dad with many young kids that played the game of hockey as I was a coach, and it took time away from you guys. I can only tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you. To my grandson, Austin. Austin just started skating recently, and I got to tell you, I get a thrill every time I go and watch him get on the ice and go from side to side. It's just amazing to see the strides that he's made in a very brief period of time. I look forward to seeing the day when Austin can develop and play the game of hockey like his pawpaw has. To my lovely wife, Joan, we've been together 30 years, and I promise you, Joan, that I will talk to Scott Rupp about putting an award together for somebody who has to put up with a guy like me for 30 years. Trust me, next year you'll be up here getting an award. Joan, I know we have a lot of things that we have done together. Obviously, hockey's been a big part of our life because you've been with me since literally I stopped playing hockey, got into senior men's, and then, of course, went on to coaching. You sacrifice a lot for me to be able to do those things. I can't say enough how much I appreciate that, and I truly do love you. Okay, that's enough. To my brother, Bill, my sister, Chris, and my sister, Cindy, what can I say? Thank you for being here tonight. Cindy and Chris, I know both of you guys took a back seat to a lot of things that we did, my brother and I, to go play hockey, play other sports, be involved in activities, and you guys weren't always at the forefront. So I understand how difficult it can be. All I can say is thank you for being here this evening. To my brother, Bill, wherever Bill is, Bill, thank you. Like all brothers, we had our sibling rivalries. We had our moments where we got into our pushing matches, shoving matches, but I can tell you what, my brother helped me become a better hockey player because we were either playing hockey in the basement on the back patio, on our neighbor's basketball court, or when it was cold enough in St. Louis in the old days, our pool would freeze over and we'd be out there playing hockey for hours on end. Bill, thanks for being my brother. To my teammates, the guys that are sitting out here in the audience, I don't know if I'll like them after this, but there's some great guys in the audience here. I can only say thank you for being a part of my life and allowing me to be a part of yours. We had some great times together, and I can tell you, every time we get together, the stories get better. They get better and they get bigger. Thank you. To all the players that I've coached in high school, I've had a great opportunity to help influence, hopefully, guys to become better hockey players, but more than that, better people. And that's really what I strive to do as a hockey coach, was to try to help my players become better people. I know that there was something that my players didn't like about me, and that was called the Murray meltdowns. And that's when I would just get so aggravated with my team for players that couldn't quite understand what I wanted to get my point across. And it was affectionately known as the Murray meltdown. I don't have those too often, but when I did, they didn't appreciate it. I apologize to all my players now. To all the guys I coached with, I had plenty of people that I coached with, starting with Ren Thompson, Stan Podorsky, Bill Murray, my brother who helped me coach, Steve Ems, Corey Quinn, Arnie Pappin, and Brian Dean. These are guys who helped me influence and teach young men how to play the greatest game that I ever played in my life. Special thanks to Arnie Pappin. Arnie joined me at Lindbergh about 5 years ago as a coach. He flew back in from California just to be here, and I appreciate you, and you're a great friend. Thank you. To the people behind the scenes, whenever you are involved in a hockey program, and many of them in the room here know this and understand this, you're not the coach, you're an administrator. You are the person who has to deal with all the issues, challenges, and potential for problems with parents and players. There are two people specifically that I want to mention tonight. Joe Marting from the Lindbergh Hockey Program and Tom Zimmerman from the DeSmet Hockey Program. Two people who understand what I wanted to do when I went to the ice rink. I wanted to go there and I wanted to coach. I didn't want to be bothered with fundraising. I didn't want to be bothered with doing all the things that they had to do. I wanted to teach the kids. And they realized that, and they afforded me that opportunity, and I thank them very much for that. As Greg wrote or read in my bio, I am a kid from the 60s and early 70s, and I did get the bug from the blues, but I got it in a special way. As Tommy Glenn mentioned about meeting people that lived in the neighborhood, some of the blues players, what a unique situation to get to know hockey players. Well, I had the good fortune of having a father who was in business, who had business relationships with a gentleman by the name of Noel Picard, who's here in the audience this evening. And because of that relationship, I not only got to watch the Blues play hockey, but I got up close and personal lessons and opportunity to pick the brain of people who played the game. That parlayed itself into meeting people like Bob Plager and Barclay Plager, people who I respect greatly. It helped my brother, myself, and my dad create an opportunity to become a hockey family, and I appreciate that very much from them. The first team I played for was the Steinberg Hockey Club. It was a unique situation. I had never really gotten involved in hockey until that year. I wound up going and playing at Steinberg. I was on the B team. A gentleman by the name of Tom Havlin coached the Bantam A team at that point. For whatever reason, he came down to our practice and he said, I want to have you skate with the A team. Now, as my first year of hockey, I wasn't a good skater. I wasn't a good puck handler. I wasn't a good shooter, and I sure as hell couldn't pass the puck. But Tom Havlin saw something in me. He brought me up to his program. He made me the captain of the team for whatever reason. And then he helped me by moving me from forward, which I really wasn't very good, to making me a defenseman, which is where I found my career niche. I have to thank Tom Havlin for seeing something in me that I certainly didn't. We talk about our events and our opportunities and things that games we played in and events that we've participated in as hockey players, but I think the greatest gift that the game of hockey has given me is the friendships and the people that I have met along the way. Over 30 plus years, 35, 36 years of doing this, you meet a lot of people, a lot of great people. One night, my wife and I went to a Blues hockey game at Scott Trade Center. This is years ago when it was Savas. And my wife and I were walking through the corridors, and there were people stopping us along the way, shaking hands, asking how I was doing, how my mom and dad were doing, how my brother and sisters, how everybody was doing. And it was really unique. We had a great time that evening, and when we were leaving, my wife said to me, she says, "How do you know all those people?" And I said, "Hockey. From playing hockey or coaching hockey in St. Louis, you meet people that you may never have met in your life." The benefit I had was I got to meet people like Greg Zielinski, Matt Buha, Tom Cato, Ronnie Zaron, Arnie Pappen, who I mentioned earlier, and dozens of other guys I played with that are friends for life. These are people that I will always remember as friends for life. I have to say thank you. As I close, and before I close, I'd like to introduce and thank two people, two very special people in my life. My mother and father, Bill and Tony Murray. While I was getting ready to write the notes to prepare this speech, I went back and I reviewed many of the speeches given by inductees from previous years. And something struck me, the fact that there were many people who were no longer with us. They had passed away. And I realized that life is short. My parents recently have gone through some difficult health issues themselves, but I'm happy to say they're fine today and they're here tonight. Mom, to you, thank you for being there to support me, my brother, and my two sisters through all the good times and the bad. Thank you for being the person that you were, and I just want you to know how much I do love you. Dad, what can I say? You were up here last year. I was proud as could be. What you did for St. Louis hockey helped not only my brother and I, but many of the people in this room get the opportunity to experience what I call the Mecca of hockey in St. Louis, the Afton Ice Rink. Because of that, I want to tell you how proud I am of you, and I want to thank you and tell you that I do love you. Thank you tonight.